questions on whether President Biden's mental state is in decline. But the media and Democrats, they're all set. Some pundits lashing out at the special counsel and reassuring voters that the president is as sharp as a tack because he can ride a bike.
The man is 80 years old.
He rides a bike.
He is the age he is.
Let's call it what it is. This is ageism snuck into a report clearing the person of any wrongdoing.
Why would he want to remember the day that his son died? Why? They want to block that out of your head.
Special prosecutor could have written the same report without using these words: elderly man with a poor memory.
And it was even worse judgment that the Justice Department allowed that garbage to be released.
Everybody on this panel right now has misspoken and said the wrong name or the wrong, the wrong date.
If you don't have a case, shut the hell up or say as little.
Do you think he's playing politics?
I absolutely do.
Some Democrats racing to defend Biden's mental competency.
President Biden made a simple incidental mistake that everyone understood what he was referring to, that has anything to do with his mental acuity. This is someone whose age has a tremendous benefit in his experience and his understanding and his knowledge of foreign policy.
The fact that the special counsel was speculating about a possible defense strategy is pretty wild. I am a little puzzled why the special counsel chose to make statements that he had no business making.
Greg, I'm kind of confused as to why they would think telling us that he's totally lucid because he can ride a bike when that's the one thing you never forget how to do.
Yeah, and also he didn't ride the bike very well. And by the way, a chimp can ride a bike, all right? I saw that at Larry Kudlow's house. But it is good to see Jeffrey Tobin finding work. I was pulling for him. But... I mean, you have him talking about inappropriate behavior. He choked his chicken in front of his coworkers. Well, you're going to have Alec Baldwin on to talk about, gun safety. It was as bad. But the media always reacts like this when reality pierces their fabricated shield. They did this with crime. They downplayed the riots and looting. Immigration, they decided to focus on border agents. With COVID, they shifted to the idea of disinformation. And now it's Joe. It's like, he can ride a bike. The problem is they can't, in this new age of media, you can't hide anymore. People can see through this stuff. But they make it even more hilarious than it should be. If they accepted reality and condemned jerks like me for making jokes, that might be a good point. But their biased denials make jokes even more necessary because they're offering a second punchline with their stupid behavior.
Judge, what would have happened? What would the Dems have said if the special counsel report about Trump had said declined to prosecute, but they hadn't released the document as to why?
Yeah, they would have gone crazy. They would have said that the fix was in.
Yeah.
You know what they would have done. They don't understand what's going on. One of the people said that is not a defense strategy. That they shouldn't be talking about a defense strategy. It doesn't even know what he's talking about because incompetency is not a defense strategy. It's something that the prosecution considers. But, all in all, what you've got are all these people who are making it like the guy has never made a mistake when in the past week he's made 6 that I can count. He called the reds. He said there were red states and green states. He said he talked to Cole and Mitterrand. Both are dead. He said that he paused referring to Hamas as the opposition, and then someone had to tell him the word Hamas. He said, LCC for the Mexican. I mean, he just does it every day. Stop trying to gaslight us. We know this guy is incapable. And because of this, every time he makes a mistake, people are going to go back to this. Joe Biden is not going to be the candidate in November. And I think that people, the smart people like Axelrod and Carville, they knew it all along. And they predicted it. And, people like Newsom, who are touting he's great, and Karine Jean-Pierre, not that, nobody takes her seriously, but, he's got more energy than anyone in this building. I mean, does anyone believe that? But when Newsom comes out and speaks on his behalf, he's the greatest president, they lose their own credibility. But in the end, I guess we're going to have to see how it plays.
Harold, in 2026, do you imagine that we're going to see a bunch of books that come out that say, in February of 2024, Democrats were having secret meetings to try to figure out how to deal with the fact that Biden had lost his mental capacity?
No, I think you'll see books saying that you might, but I think what's likelier is you'll see books saying there was talk about his mental capacity being diminished, and what did Dems do to either help him win, or if he loses, they'll say that he lost because of some of this. I would be curious. I heard some of the criticism today about this special counsel, and I don't know if special counsels in the past have surmised about mental acuity and mental health and their reasoning for things. The judge made the point that this may not even be a defense, a legitimate defense. I think that's what you were making in the courtroom if this were the case. So I'll be curious to see what when why, and then her is going to testify at some point over the next month or two. That's standard for these special counsels to do so. And I'll be curious to know what someone I'm sure will ask him if you chose not to prosecute, even though, because for me the issue is more if he intentionally retained documents. Why wouldn't you prosecute? It would seem to me that if you believe that he was going to be just friendly to the jury, that seems to me to be more of a testament to you being an ineffective prosecutor than anything else. So sharing all that information about him when you're not a doctor just seemed a little unique to me and different. And I think I understand some of the criticism from the White House about that issue.
Can I just say one quick thing? Prosecutors do it every day. Every day we'll say we're not prosecuting this guy because he's got mental issues, because he's got a legitimate defense in terms of insanity, or because we don't believe that he's mentally capable of going forward.
But he didn't say that.
Do it he did say it.
No, he didn't say that. That's in fairness, Judge. He did not say that.
He couldn't say it that hard because you and I both know that went through several rewrites before the Department of Justice.
I'd love to see the first draft.
But I'm not going to let you say he's mentally
you,
unfit. No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that.
Do you expect a flurry of glowing profiles of Kamala Harris in the next 2 weeks?
Do you think the media is in on it?
No, I'm just
saying. Because I wouldn't put her out
there,
Dana. I think there'd be a landslide Trump victory. And that's the conundrum they're facing. If you take him out and he doesn't run, you can't put Kamala out there. You're going to put the first black female presidential nominee, just feed her to the wolves. It's going to be a 40-state blowout. So you also can't bring in Newsom, because then you're going to have a civil war. Plus, you don't want to dirty up Newsom because he might lose to Trump, very well might lose to Trump. You need to save him for 2028. Then the only other option is Michelle. And she doesn't want it, Dana. She doesn't want it. My sources inside Chicago have told me that she's not really that interested. You have to run Biden. You have to lose with Biden.
Do you know that
That's the calculation.
She's not in Chicago?
Yeah.
She will be in Chicago for the convention.
All right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.